to say. Hey, thanks, man. Thank you for your call.
No problem. No problem.
All right.
Oh, this is dope.
All right, Sensei. What do you have to say? Thank
Brother
you.
Stride, what's happening, man?
You're awake. Dude, I did this late because I was having issues, but you're awake. I mean, this is New York. You guys never sleep.
Never sleep, man. We never sleep. Dude, I'm excited for the new wheels. They are pricey. We all knew that, like you said. Sherman pretty much set the trend for the pricey wheels. But look what you're getting with the Sherman. You got the range, you got the durability, you got the speed. And I think someone like the caliber that you ride, you need something like that. You know what I mean? I think other riders that are maybe less experienced, they can get away with, like me. I love my Tesla,
Yes.
but I know, you know what I mean? But everyone has a wheel that's going to fit their riding style and how they ride. And I think that's what riders really need to sort out. Now, for me, I'm sort of in the middle. I was in an accident, that whole thing. So I'm just letting my body heal up.
How are you doing overall? Are you 100%, 80%? What are you?
I would say right now, probably about 80. My left leg is still a little weak and my ankle's still a little weak.
So what happened? What happened exactly in short? Make it short. What happened exactly? I'm sorry that you went through this, but guys, this is, I always say when people ask, is EUC dangerous? I say yes.
It is.
Not because of us, not because of the wheel necessarily. It's because of us. It's just human error. So go on, explain.
I mean, I can't give everything because some stuff is still being sorted out legally. But I was commuting to work, and I'm going down to get to the train station, and basically a driver jumped through the intersection at the stop sign and hit me at a pretty good rate of speed. And sent me flying, and that's basically it. It was driver error. Driver did not see me, but this is what we do. That's a risk that we take when we ride. We all love riding. It's just you can be the best rider, but you can't compensate for bad, incoherent or distracted drivers. I think that's the hardest part about riding an EUC is trying to, you can't manipulate, you can't control distracted drivers. That's the hard part.
So let me ask you this. So I have this saying, know your environment and know your wheel.
Right.
Let me ask you this, because I like to look at both sides and I don't want to get into it too much. Please don't feel like you have to answer it because of the legal situation. But answer me this. Do you feel that you were able to be on code 100% with knowing your wheel and knowing your environment? Do you feel like there's something you could have done better? Or do you feel you did do your part, but the driver, because even as riders, we have to assume, I always assume that I've been hit before, but I expected them to hit me and then they hit me because I didn't prepare. But my question to you is, do you feel like there's something you could have done, or you did everything and then they, pretty much did what they did?
Right. I believe I did everything right. When I pull up to an intersection, I'll slow down. I'll make eye contact with the driver if I can. Most of the time I try to do that. Again, if the driver's distracted, trying to make eye contact is almost useless, but that's what I try to do. If I was not 100% that day, I wouldn't be here talking to you guys right now. Seriously, it was either life or death. I mean, I don't think people really realize the hit that I took, but I knew that.
Did you have video of it?
Pardon me?
Did you have video of it?
I didn't have video. And I tell you what, I had said this before, and I don't think people understood what I was saying. I remember I was watching a video of EVX at the Broadway bomb. And I watched a section in the video where he went through an intersection and he ran at an angle to kind of get away from a car. In that time, that's exactly what I did to outrun the car. I had to run at an angle to absorb the impact. Otherwise, if I'd have kept going straight, I wouldn't be here right now.
Wow.
I wouldn't be here right now. So it's just funny how your mind works. Like I watch a lot of videos, but it's something how your mind will work and hold on to that information. And when you need it, you'll yank it out this supercomputer.
That's right.
Yeah, I start running at an angle,
That's
and I
called
absorbed a lot. Yeah, I absorbed a lot of the impact. Yeah.
Wow. Now, what's interesting is you were in your Tesla, were you?
Yeah. Let me tell you this about the Tesla, dude. People say, oh man, the Godway wheels, their shells are like, the shell like eggshell. Dude, that Tesla took a hit, bro.
Yeah, I've crashed my Tesla many times, and it just put it back together.
Right? Yeah, that thing, it's like a tank. It took a good hit. It did take damage, but it powered on. Powered on. Yeah. So, I mean, I love the Tesla. It has its limits, but I love that wheel. I love that wheel. I'm trying to get it back up and running now.
Let me know what you think about this. I'm glad you're feeling a lot better. Okay, we all want you to get back to 100%. You know what I'm saying? Because this is just the environment we expect. It's just what it is. Now, here's the thing: these wheels are way more heavier than the Tesla. So, do you feel? And let the audience know. Do you feel that, number one, do you recommend any of these wheels for new riders?
Me, honestly, no.
Me neither.
No, not at all. Not at all. Dude, I went from, and this is how I started. And this goes out to everyone watching. Do not let people control what you want to buy. Buy what is best for you and what is comfortable for you.
Yep.
Because it only takes a millisecond to get yourself in trouble on these things.
Sorry to interrupt, but I wanted you to, and exactly what you're saying here is why I wanted to say what I want to say, but I want to interject this little piece that your Tesla was very light. These wheels are insanely heavy. So braking power, acceleration, turning, bending, maneuvering, all of that has to be taken into consideration.
Big time. I started out with an M10 III. I went to a Tesla V2 and I could see the weight difference. I was like, wow, this Tesla's really heavy. Now I'm riding an RS high speed and going from because my RS high speed is like 58 pounds. I got on that thing. I was like, wow, this thing is heavy.
It's heavy.
Yeah, it's much heavier, and you have to take and compensate for the brake. It's just like anything, weight. You have to compensate for the weight, and the more weight something weighs, the more tired you're going to be trying to throw that weight around. Your body's going to get fatigued if it's not used to it. The braking distance and all these other things. So weight is a big issue. I don't recommend any heavy wheels for these new riders. I really don't.
It's funny, when this Sherman first came out, a lot of new riders were jumping on the Sherman. And in my review, and many others, even Coogee Rolls, the top tier of reviewers mentioned that it's not for new riders.
No.
Of course, you're going to do whatever it is you want to do at the end of the day. But common sense, kind of lets you know, listen. But the thing is, it goes back to the statistic that I mentioned earlier. 80% of people's buying decision comes from their emotion, and then the rest of the 20 comes from their intellect. So most people, when they think of purchasing something, dude, look at this King Song. Are you freaking kidding me? You look at this.
It looks like a sport bike. It looks like a sport bike, right?
Dude, you don't care about weight. You don't care. It's fast. It's 44.5 freaking miles an hour. And the first person, who's never bought an EUC before, sees this, and they're going to purchase it. Not because of, so the fact that you went through what you went through enforces more that, new riders should just stay away from these wheels, in my opinion.
I would. It's people, they want, for example, they want what the top riders have. They want to be in with the crowd. I'm being completely honest. So they want to get the Commander. They want to get the Sherman.
Sorry to be a bummer, guys. Sorry to be a bummer, but we're literally trying to save your life right now.
No, it is.
Your limb.
100%.
Because Sensei Vegan, you said Tesla. Before, was the Tesla your first wheel?
No, I had an M10 III first.
Oh yeah, you did say that. Yeah, M10 III.
M10 III.
And the going through the progression of a small wheel to a mid-range wheel to a big wheel to a real performance wheel, you could appreciate the performance wheel more, right?
Oh, it's like even going from the Tesla to the RS, man, I was like, wow. It was like the performance, the torque, the speed. Like, I think the fastest I had my Tesla up to was like 31.9 miles an hour. And then this RS high speed, I can do over 40 miles an hour on it. And I haven't even hit 40 miles an hour on it yet.
39?
I can go over 30. I think we'll go over 39. I think we'll do 40.
The Tesla?
No, not the Tesla. On my Tesla, I went 31.9.
Okay.
31.9, just under 32. I remember you saying, I think it was you and to Sean Floyd were like, you might not want to do 32 on it because you're gonna. So I always say below 32.
No, because Gotway does that. Gotway is the only company besides Sherman now that would give you a spec top speed and then will give you at least 5 to like 7 extra mile buffer just in case. Above 50% battery, of course, you know.
Yeah, because I think like my riding weight's about 185, 190 pounds. So I would take that into consideration. I think, like I said, I would normally ride the Tesla. Normally I would stay about 29, 28. That would be my top speed. Then if I wanted to push it a touch, I'd hit maybe like 31. But yeah. I know for a fact that the RS high speed, you can hit 40 miles an hour on that wheel.
Absolutely. So let me ask you this, Sensei. You're technically a veteran now. You've gone through pretty much all the initiations that we typically have to go through as veterans. I've met people in New York who's never crashed their wheels, but they don't ride, you know, as like aggressive as most New Yorkers do. Nevertheless, they are veterans. But I would really consider your type of veteran because you literally went through all the initiations. You crashed, you went through like a small wheel, mid-range wheel, big wheel. So you're able to appreciate the entire spectrum per se. Can you justify, not just by price, but add price in there, can you justify purchasing one of these new wheels? Can you justify that?
I'll admit, I was one of the first, and you can look on my channel and see the videos. I was kind of like, man, these prices are just way too high. But you get what you pay for. You know what I mean? You do. You get what you pay. If you want the range, if you want the speed, you're going to have to pay for it. Now, I would love to see a hop up in battery tech. You know what I mean? So maybe the wheels could be a little bit lighter. Like you can get a 1,500 watt hour battery that would give you, you know, like a 2,700 watt hour battery range or something like that. But me right now, I'm like, okay, I don't want to have to dish off that money, but I know in order to get one of these wheels, right now the S20 is at the top of my list. I want to see what InMotion. I think InMotion has a chance to do a serious undercut and make a serious power play with their next wheel. I believe they're going to put out a suspension wheel next. They could make a serious power play. So I want to see what they want to do. But as of right now, I'm pushing for either the S20, depending on the durability, or if I have to, it would be the Commander. It would be the Commander. I think I'd get the Commander over the Abrams. I think so.
Absolutely, 100%. Yeah. I don't see the justification for the Abrams though. I mean, the Abrams does look nice, and I like the rail. I really like that. That does add some type of protection, warranty, if you will, built-in warranty to your wheel. But I don't. The specs went downward.
It went down. I would get a Sherman, dude. I would get the Sherman.
Just get a Sherman.
Over the Abrams. I would get the Sherman over the Abrams. I'm serious. That's what I would do. I would get a Sherman over the Abrams. It's like they downgraded.
They downgraded. Yeah. I wonder why.
I don't know. I know they were saying batteries and this and that, but I'm like, well, all these other wheels are putting out batteries, and things like that. So I don't know what the deal. Oh, you had made something about Ewheels in their battery packs. My RS has a new battery pack in it. The new battery packs that the Ewheels have put in. So with the upgraded BMS and things like that.
I did see that.
Yeah. So that's pretty cool. I mean, I didn't get the Molly cell. I believe that's like an extra $250. I just got the regular one, but they outsourced their battery packs now, and I haven't had any problems with the RS yet. I haven't had any problems with it. I'm just.
Well, I mean, look, I've had my wheels forever. I've had like freaking my Tesla forever. And I've pulled out the batteries, like it's been years now, and I haven't had a single issue. You know, Yaz will. You know, I've had no issues with my wheels, and I'm one of the guys who rides in puddles, who rides in rain.
Yeah, you ride, dude.
You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I mean, I know that, you know, with a lot of technology, there's always like a bad batch, but I'm not sure why Gotway went through that. But it's official, right? That Ewheels is going through a different distributor.
Oh, yeah, 100%. Because I have that pack in my RS. I have the pack in my RS.
That's awesome.
I think with me too, and I'm sorry to take up so much time, I don't push myself. I don't think anyone has really seen me push myself on my wheels on my videos. I sort of ride conservative. I can ride better than what people see me on my videos. I don't like when I'm filming and stuff, I'm like, I'm filming, I'm going to lock myself in, and you know what I mean? So I don't make any mistakes and things like that. So I think, so hopefully coming up soon, once I'm 100% healed up, I'll make some videos and I'll push it harder. But I can ride better than what people see me on the videos. I kind of just ride conservative when I'm riding, shooting. You know how it is shooting with a camera. And this is another important thing. And
it's
I tell people, dude, people have no idea. Learn how to ride first, then learn how to ride with a selfie stick. A selfie stick, the first time I did it, thank God I was in the park. It was windy, and I held that stick out, and I angled it at a certain angle, and the wind hit it like a rudder on a plane, and it pushed me out.
You wouldn't think a stick would add any type of like resistance in the wind, but it does.
Yeah, it's like a rudder on a plane. It'll steer you right out in the traffic. So I tell people, do not rush to make your videos. If you want to make a video, put it on a tripod and just, ride past the camera and the tripod until you get comfortable, and shoot with a shorter length stick before you start extending it out. You know what I mean? And make the stick longer and longer, because the longer the stick is, the harder it is to ride with.
So let me ask you this, not to cut you off. So back to the topic. Yes, guys, be very careful. The reason I'm letting him talk more and more is because he literally, one of the things we don't want to experience is crashing, right? Because when you crash, you can't ride, and that's a bummer. You know what I mean? And not only that, you could have hurt someone else. I mean, your family's depending on you. Who cares? All these things are important. So it's important to let him speak, because he's an example. He's a case study. So learn from him. Ask him all the questions. I'm sorry, but you are. You know what I'm saying?
It's true. It is. It's so true.
It's valuable. What you have to say right now is extremely valuable. This is why I'm letting you speak. But let me ask you this. Have you put down a purchase on any of these wheels yet?
I haven't. Like I said, I want to see, like right now, the S20 and the Commander's at the top of the list. I want to see what Emotion does. I still think the V11, I still think is one of the most underrated wheels out there. I love that. Dude, the V11 is that wheel is underrated, bro.
Why do you say that? Because
my buddy, Koki Robinson, has a V11, and I've ridden with him many times, and I would be pushing on my Tesla. And I actually had someone say,
wait, hold on. These are completely because listen, the Tesla came out way before the V11. And not only that, the V11, what is its top speed? 35 miles an hour?
35.
Yeah.
35.
So it's really not, I mean, what's the battery? Do you know?
1500 watt hour.
1500. Okay. So the Tesla is what? 10.
Like 1,120. 1,120 watt hour, I think. Or 1,020 watt hour, I think.
Yeah, exactly.
1,020 watt hour.
So it's technically not in the same league per se. So I don't think it's fair, in my opinion, to really compare them.
But check this out. Remember Cobra. Think of Cobra at the rally, at the indoor rally. He kept up with everybody on that V11, especially with those turns. With the height of the pedals, he wasn't scraping. Yeah,
so I think that was the main thing. It wasn't the speed; it was the pedals.
Well, another thing too. I see. Speed is subject to interpretation, because you can only go as fast as the course is going to let you. And that's the same thing with riding on a street. If a street has a ton of bumps and potholes, because Boston streets are probably just as bad as New York's, dude. So you have to be very aware of your environment, where you can push it and where you can kind of, just let this be free and just full send it. Because I tell anybody on here, you do not want to hit a bump at 35 miles an hour, because you're coming off the wheel, you're bending the rim, So speed, you have to know when to pour it on and when to turn it off. That's the biggest thing about speed. But that comes with experience. For me, 35 miles an hour is a good speed to cruise around. Again, if you're on a stretcher road where you can open it up and you can hit 40 plus, that's cool. But normally for me, about 25 to 30 miles an hour, a little over 30, is sufficient for me to run on. You
did put a deposit, right? That's what you said?
No, I did not. No, not yet. Not yet.
All right, cool. And that's cool. Hey, listen, just be safe riding out there. You're at 80%. No need to push it. No need to create videos showing you pushing it just yet.
Right.
100% before you go on, because we need you out there. You know what I mean? So thanks, man. Thanks for calling in. I really appreciate it, Sensei. See you another time, hopefully.
All right, brother. Be safe.
All right. Thank you. I'm going to let Monty in. Monty, let's see what you have to say.